Are you tired of the same old sports media? Are you tired of hot takes, arguments, and questions that are just completely off base?
Luckily, we have something for you. Touchdowns and tangents of the people, for the people, by people who care about the culture and all its concise commentary.
What's up, good people? Live from Hawthorne, California, it's Touchdowns with Tangents, TDs_Tangents on Twitter and Instagram. It's the dynamic duo here for a special edition on a Wednesday. I'm PD Camarillo. He is
Frank James Berry. What's up?
What's up? Hopefully my mic is working. Everything seems a little delayed.
Actually, I don't hear myself at all.
Yeah, I can hear.
I don't hear nothing.
I can hear. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with yours, but I can definitely hear. But yeah, man, special Thanksgiving edition. Kenny's going to work tomorrow, and I'll be traveling, so we decided to do the episode a little bit early. Both had the day off fucking around on Madden, pretty much. Pretty much Kenny's team has a bunch of old-ass 90s with some young-ass 70s and 60s overall. First pick was Justin Jefferson. My first pick was fucking Watt. What's his name? TJ Watt. I don't know why I was thinking Tyler Watt. TJ
Man
Watt.
took TJ Watt.
Yeah, and everyone knows I got a vendetta against white players, so it was...
Took Adam Thielen, too. He doubled down on white players.
Yeah, it was crazy. I had to think outside of just my own biases. Do what was best for the organization.
Crazy work. Just crazy, disgusting work.
But yeah, man, outside of that, my team stacked in the front seven, stacked in the running game, but my DBs are absolute hot garbage trash.
Just hot water garbage. It's scary how garbage they are. Actually.
Pretty much like what the Rams and Raiders trotted out this season. What about?
It's actually kind of scary how hot garbage they are.
Kenny just keeps going back and forth looking at the same 68 overall players that he hasn't drafted the last 4 rounds.
No,
actually, you're literally looking at the same players.
Carefully building my roster out.
He's literally looking at the same
Carefully
players.
building my roster out.
He is gaslighting me and pressuring me, giving me anxiety to make a pick, and this man is barely making his pick.
This man didn't take Zeke. You fake.
I didn't think he was going to be gone by the next pick.
You fake, bro.
It's fine. I got Cordero and Saquon.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley.
The fuck is the person I'm looking for?
Well, yeah, man. So, since it's a special edition podcast, shout out to Nikki. She's traveling to Texas tomorrow, so gave her the day off. But yeah, man, the obvious topic, like Kenny, what are you thankful for this year, as far as the football season first, and then second, just as far as
Clark Phillips was on the clock. I could have said
in general.
I'll say for me, thankful I definitely took some growth this year. Definitely been more aggressive and confident in my career field, especially with like how I've been covering the Pac-12, and covering the Mountain West and national stuff. And the fact that like more and more people are starting to notice, my contributions and things. It feels good. Feels great, actually. Thankful for it. Thankful also for people who just, kept telling me like, nah, man, keep going. Like, you're where you're supposed to be. So now you just got to like maneuver that even more. Like, don't try to double dip back into old lifestyles or habits. They don't suit you anymore. That's the big thing I'm grateful for. And then also my nephew humbles me every time I see him. Like Isaiah truly humbles me, not just because this is terrible twos, and he but oh boy, there's nothing in life that's ever made me quit, but arguing with the 2-year-old, it makes me want to give my life to God all over again. That's all I can tell you. Like, it's children will test your gangster to your face and let you know you're really not about that life. It's crazy.
Yeah, for me, football wise, I think I'm really grateful that Mark Davis grew a pair and made a decision and got the two Patriots players the fuck out of here. I think that was the biggest thing that I was grateful for this year. And even though they're on the outside looking in of a really crowded AFC West team, I'm glad that they've at least been competitive and they're still in the mix at this point. Hopefully Antonio Pierce can keep them there. We'll see how that is. And then personally, I mean, I'm just grateful, for the people around me as well who've supported me, believed in me, filled me up with, love, affection, joy, laughter,
sunshine,
validation, all the things that, we as people need. I'm really just kind of grateful for that. I mean, it's been an up and down year for me. I've had some highs, I've had some lows, but grateful to keep kicking. And also, like, I don't know, I feel like I've learned a lot this year, and it's kind of like been time for me to get back to the things that I want to do. So I'm grateful for that as well, looking ahead. Yeah, man. Hopefully I can sell a couple of these Charger tickets.
This man took 10 minutes to take a full back.
Yeah, I'll be even more grateful. Me.
Crazy work.
Yeah, man. I got to get my overall up because you got a fucking 90 sitting on your roster for no reason. 50-year-old 90s that you would never take if you were going to draft beyond this year.
I got a championship roster in the making.
Yeah, well, I'm going to win special teams.
Will you?
And I'm going to win in the trenches. So
Are you about to?
I'm good about that.
I'll switch a punter to a kicker in a heartbeat. Watch.
So I'm good with that. As long as I win up front in special teams, I got a chance. That's all I need, Kenny. That's all I need. All right,
you don't even believe that, but okay.
Anything else you want to talk about? I have a feeling this is going to be a really light, fast show, especially considering it's been a short week. But anything you want to talk about off the top before we move to college football?
I'm excited. I guess for the Black Friday game, but not really.
Are you excited for the Black Friday game?
I'm excited for free food and time and a half.
On Black Friday?
Oh, no, I don't work Friday, actually.
Oh, well, you said you were excited for the Black Friday game.
Kinda, but not really.
Okay, because I'm confused because you said you were excited out of nowhere, and now you're not.
I just lied. I'm sorry.
It's New York and Philadelphia. Honestly, I think we obviously got to take Philadelphia, right? Are you predicting an upset?
Yeah.
How is Philly playing? Didn't they just play on Monday?
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs.
So now they're playing on Friday?
Yeah, it's a weird week. It's a very weird week.
That's so dumb. That'd be so hot. If I was them. But I guess it's the same as a Sunday to Thursday.
Pretty much.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like Black Friday, I usually like to watch NBA, but it is what it is.
Now you got to make a choice.
It is what it is. The NFL wants to own every single day possible.
No comment.
Yeah, so there you go. Other games going on tomorrow. Guess we could talk a little bit about that since we usually don't talk till after Thursday's games. The Cowboys Commanders should be a blowout for Dallas, but who knows? Tough division. That's the middle game. We got Packers Lions in the morning. Lions Super Bowl day. Lions pack them out or at home, or Packers keep it close?
Lions on a roll. They're kind of a problem for everybody.
Then the marquee game, Niners Seahawks in Seattle. Who you like?
Niners. Geno Smith he's never beaten the Niners. He's 0-3.
Is he even going to play? Because he got hurt versus the Rams.
Yeah, elbow bruise.
Dog, that Rams game was so boring. And
Nasty.
then I started doing something else, and then they came back and won. And I was like, wow, that would happen. They were down like a score and a half with like 8 minutes left and came back and beat Seattle. So honestly, I think Seattle will bounce back at home. But still, see, San Francisco is just way too talented. So I still like San Francisco, but I like them close. All right, Kenny, college football.
Internet. Trying to find the rundown. I don't see it.
There is no rundown.
Oh, cool. Well then, college football wise, man, Pac-12's out of it, but I got credentials to cover the Pac-12 title game, so I'll be there December 1st in Vegas and December 2nd.
So you're just gonna gloss over the whole USC getting clapped by UCLA?
Oh no, I'm rounding my way back to that. Don't worry.
Sure.
So you better not take 2 fullbacks. I'll punch you in the face.
Jeez, so violent.
Because I'm like, for real, if you take Kyle, whatever his face is, and switch him to tight end and then draft Ricard, me and you were gonna have a serious problem. But anyway, so UNLV came back. They shut out Air Force in the second half to take sole first place of the Mountain West Conference. So they're pretty much in the title game no matter what happens. Actually, no. They have to beat San Jose State. Boise State has to win. I think Air Force has to beat somebody too. But yeah, pretty much, UNLV, very tough team, very well coached team. Barry Odom, the receiver, should be a Biletnikoff finalist. Arguably could win it. He's had a great year for them. And they're doing it with a redshirt freshman QB, which is crazy. On top of that, they won, I think it was 31-27 against Air Force. Air Force only threw like 4 passes or 3 passes. They completed 3 passes, but with Air Force losing that game, they're probably going to play Mountain West title game again, as long as they win their game. And the winner goes on to host the Mountain West title game, which will, if UNLV wins out and they get to the Mountain West title game, then they will be playing at home and hosting it in Vegas, which means I'll stay in Vegas an extra day to cover that. Otherwise, I'm not going to be going because I got work that Sunday. So you got Alabama. Auburn, by the way, lost to New Mexico State last week, which is kind of crazy because they got paid $1 million to show up. Unfortunately, Jordan Travis, Florida State's record-setting QB, broke his leg. College career is over. Done for the season. And honestly, there goes Florida State's playoff hopes. Washington beat Oregon State in the frigid rain or somewhat snow, I think. And Washington pretty much has to beat Washington State for the Apple Cup. Oregon and Oregon State play. Heisman's on the line against Georgia State. Jaden Daniels for LSU had like 600 total yards and like 8 touchdowns. Set an LSU record. So, see how he doesn't win the Heisman. He's been the best player. He has over 1,000 yards rushing and like 4,000 yards passing. And like almost 60 touchdowns. Like, I don't see how you don't have that guy as the Heisman winner. But if Washington wins out and they win if Washington wins out and gets to the national title game, Michael Penix Jr. should be the Heisman winner. I don't care if Oregon beats Washington. Bo Nix has a really great team around him, and he lost to Michael Penix head up the first time. I don't see how you don't give the Heisman to Michael Penix Jr. He's been the best quarterback, arguably statistically, the past 2 years, even though Caleb was the best player last year. Michael Penix led the nation in passing last year, pretty much leading the nation in passing this year. And if it's not Jaden Daniels, it should be Michael Penix Jr. Oregon already has a loss. They lost to Washington straight up. They barely beat USC. Yeah, he's putting up stats. He's been putting up stats all year. I feel like it's a situation where, like, Alabama had A.J. McCarron, and I think he might have won the Davey O'Brien Award, or it was Alabama QB that won, like, the best quarterback award, and we all knew he wasn't the best quarterback. You just had to give it to him because Alabama was the best team. So, in that regards, it's going to be very interesting how this shakes out. James Madison lost to Appalachian State, so they're done, but they can still hit a bowl game. Louisville's undefeated and is probably going to play Florida State. Louisville could win the ACC, and honestly, they would have an argument to be in the playoff. If Michigan, Ohio State lose, and Oregon loses, Louisville has a legitimate shot. They beat Notre Dame. They beat Notre Dame badly. So it's very possible and likely that could happen. Georgia and Alabama have to play, obviously, an SEC title game. And if Georgia loses to Bama, well, do you keep a one-loss SEC team in the playoff? Does Bama get to be in the playoff, but Texas doesn't, even though Texas beat Bama head up? It'll be a total nightmare, and Pac-12 schools are going to get screwed. So with college football, you have a lot to look forward to this upcoming week. USC's done for the season until their bowl game. And honestly, if USC ends up in the LA Bowl, which they should, the LA Bowl should take USC and not UCLA. Don't be stupid. Caleb Williams is the bigger storyline. It means nothing if UCLA wins this game against UNLV if they play them. USC's, even if Caleb doesn't play, that's star power. And USC is a total mess right now. And if USC would lose to UNLV in the LA Bowl, which the Mountain West has won that bowl every year they've played, like that would be seismic for West Coast football. And yeah. So that's pretty much the gist of college football for what I have on the docket. If you got something you want to talk about, go for it, because USC got embarrassed and just ran off the field. UCLA looked like the tougher team from USC ran out the tunnel and then UCLA immediately followed them. Normally when teams run out of the tunnel, there's like a 2 to 3 minute grace period. No, UCLA was right on their bumper. So I'm not even surprised. Like I thought UCLA was going to win.
I guess my question is,
win by 30. I'm surprised they didn't.
How much leeway does Lincoln Riley get next year?
Oh, if he loses a game in the first 6 weeks, that's grounds to be terminated. If they lose to LSU really bad next year, that might be grounds for termination.
Wow, that's wild. But yeah, man, I think it's great for UCLA. I think you talked about it a few weeks ago, but maybe even though Chip Kelly hasn't really been in the national title conversation, he has kind of turned that program around and made them respectable. So I think he deserves some credit for that. Anytime you can beat USC, it's great as a Bruin. So I don't know why there's so many rumors about whether or not this is Chip Kelly's last year, but either way, I mean, I think their defensive coordinator has been in a lot of head coaching conversations at the collegiate level. This was his first year, right? As defensive coordinator?
Yeah, he was on the Ravens, and then he took the job at UCLA.
Then, yeah, man, I don't know. What do you think about Latu? You think he could play on Sundays?
Oh, yeah, sure. Potential first-round pick. I mean, he had like he had to medically retire.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And then came back. So he's a premier pass rusher, elite edge rusher. He can make himself a lot of money.
Well, I think he did in that game.
I think if he runs like a 4.5, he could shoot up into the top 10. Yeah. You know how it is with edge rushers. He could shoot up very quickly.
But you know how it is with medical red flags. You could easily fall, too, to the late 20s. Top of the second. But yeah, man, I'm just happy for UCLA. I'm happy for UCLA fans. And honestly, it just kind of sucked to see USC kind of play like that. Like, they just didn't really look like a team with an identity.
It looked like they quit.
Everyone kind of expected Lincoln Riley to have, this explosive offense with Caleb and all the talent they have on that team. And it's like, that just didn't show up versus UCLA. And it's kind of sad because, well, I am, a UCLA fan and I do want to see them win. It's like, I still want to see USC play a brand of football, particularly on defense. Like, I don't expect them to be a top 10 defense, but like, I expect them to tackle and play with some swagger, especially against UCLA. And really, they haven't found that all year, even after the change. And you would have hoped they would have found a little bit of that versus UCLA, but just never showed up. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's still kind of early to get rid of Lincoln Riley, but it seems like the streets are ready to turn on him. So,
he's worn out all his good grace.
Exactly. He's got to get his shit together.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Touchdown or turnover. Damn, this might be the fastest show in history since, like, the early days, the good days.
Are you okay?
All right. Touchdown or turnover, Kenny? Let's see. Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson is expected to be the most coveted head coaching candidate. Touchdown or turnover?
I could see that as being very true because of how great, his that offense has looked under Jared Goff. Like I could see several teams, like Ben Johnson could be the Raiders head coach right now. He could be the head coach in Washington. He could be the head coach. Let's say if things don't work out in Dallas, I could see him being the head coach in Dallas. Like he's going to get a call somewhere for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that his name is getting louder and louder as the season goes on, particularly if Detroit goes on to win a playoff game. I think that all but seals him as a potential head coach anywhere next year. All right, moving on. Touchdown or turnover? The Browns signing Joe Flacco to their practice squad.
They need a guy who can come in. They can't afford any more injuries, so I totally understand it.
I'm going to say it's a turnover. I feel like there's got to be someone out there better than 38-year-old Joe Flacco? Like, Joe Flacco's died already at least 3 times and somehow keeps getting work.
Don't put death on that man's name.
But I mean, like, his career has died. Like, it died in Denver. Then he went to the Jets, and then he somehow ended up back at the Jets. And now he's with Cleveland. And honestly, I was kind of disappointed with DTR last week, but yeah, somehow they still won. Which is crazy.
Can I take this?
All right, next one. The Steelers signed Blake Martinez, which some people may remember as the dude caught up in the Pokemon scandal last year or 2 years ago.
Pokegate?
Was picked up off the Panthers practice squad. So the Steelers signed Blake Martinez. Touchdown or turnover?
Wait, the Steelers signed Blake Martinez and not Miles Jack? They
Yep.
signed Miles Jack.
Nope.
Wow, I'm kind of shocked with that one. That's a wait and see, but I wouldn't have figured that one at all.
Oh, it looks like they signed both.
That's what I'm saying. They definitely signed Miles Jack.
Yeah, they signed both.
They're the one that's linebacker play has been terrible for a while. I mean, you already fired. Never mind. But yeah.
Yeah, they signed them both. But yeah, so on that note, is Miles Jack signing a touchdown or turnover?
It's definitely a touchdown for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's a touchdown too, but I also said that last year and it wasn't. But he gave up a lot of touchdowns. Lost his job to Robert Spillane, so I don't know. To be determined. All right, and let's move on to Take or Tangent. Hold on, let me play this out. All right, Kenny. So you want to break down the whole Jim Irsay situation?
I'm going to read the tweet off and then I'll further explain. I'll explain the past history.
All right, well, just finish your pick because you've already done 2 segments since you got the controller. Segments. All right, I'll give you an easy one. We can warm up to that. So first up, Cam Newton, he was on a podcast, said he's still interested in NFL return, but said teams haven't called him in 2 years. Do you have a take or a tangent on that, Kenny?
They're not gonna call him, bro. Like, you know what
But
you're gonna get.
but they called Joe Flacco, bro. That's my point.
Yeah, you're 100% right. They're just not gonna call him.
Sad.
It's kind of foul, but they're not gonna do it.
Yeah, I think it sucks that they won't even give him a look. Like, even the Raiders, I feel like with the hit and miss that Aiden O'Connell had and the fact that I don't know if Jimmy G's actually healthy or not, but it's like I would give Cam a look. You say you're trying to win this year. You say you're trying to be in the mix still. So why wouldn't you take a look? I mean, shit, at this point, maybe dude's like a Taysom Hill tight end. Just use him in goal line situations. Use him in wildcat formations like they used to use RG3 with Lamar, 2 quarterback backfields. Like, I feel like there's different things you could do with Cam that would make him useful in this league right now. All right. Moving on. The Indianapolis Colts released Darius Leonard.
Shaq Leonard, a.k.a.
Shaq
the
Leonard.
Maniac. I mean, they've been limiting his play all season. And honestly, it's best for him to just get out of there. He should definitely go to the Raiders, but if he wants to play for a contender, I could see him going to the highest bidder. Like, I could see him maybe signing with the Lions. He'd be perfect for that locker room.
So they said the
Saints
Cowboys
even.
and the Eagles are his leading suitors thus far.
Be mad at him. When
Which,
the Cowboys, that'd be crazy. The Eagles will be outstanding.
I mean, I feel like the Eagles already have linebackers and they've been mixing them up. And the same thing kind of with Dallas. I don't know. Like, if I were him, I would be looking to find that right spot that's like, yeah, they're in the mix, but also like, I can play how I need to play. Like, because I feel like he's a player who needs to like have talent around him so that he can really like roam around and just make plays. I don't think you need to expect him to make every tackle anymore. I think you just want him to be able to rally to the ball and try to create some turnovers. Really get your defense set up.
Yeah, I could see that. I think the Eagles would be perfect for him. That would really be the best spot for him.
Just feel like he might not get burned, and then he's really
no. He would
be
be their unquestioned. He has to be their unquestioned starter at Mike linebacker or even outside linebacker.
No, man, Marlon's been playing good.
But I mean,
Zach Cunningham made a couple plays the last game. They have like 2 guys that are better than both those dudes.
I would be legitimately looking at the Detroit Lions if I was him. Be like, hey, y'all could use me.
He doesn't want to go to another bad organization in a dome.
They're 8-2. They're not a bad organization right now.
I mean, they're a bad organization. They just are winning as well.
Okay.
But their culture is not the best.
That's fair.
All right, so go ahead, break down the Ursay.
All right, Jim Irsay said a bunch of foul, racist shit. But he tweeted out 1:53 p.m. today, and on first take, the woman that preceded Stephen A. How dare you pretend to know me? I don't know your name, and I don't care to. Angry emoji. If my black mother Dorothy was still alive, ... You'd be in some big hot water. Apostrophe sign. You are mean and ugly. Upside down face emoji. You're a nothing burger.
Nothing burger. Wow.
Hold on, there's more. Oh shit, he doubled down. Oh god. Wait a minute. There's more. This is a series of tweets.
He hasn't even deleted them yet?
No, he stood on business. So 4 hours ago, it started with first take. First off, his punctuation is fucking awful. It's god awful. First
Probably
take.
texting from a T9 full.
I don't know. A storm bunker. It's Indiana after all. First take. You're gonna get your ass sued. comma, no spaces, because there was no alcohol, no illegal drugs. So that's $29,000. Oh God, you got to go to Twitter and see how he spelled it. His spell like this. I don't know how this man owns an NFL team and his spelling. This is poor. No illegal drugs. $29,000 is low for me to be carrying. In 2014 arrest, I give away $2,000 and $10,000 to the homeless and needed on the street all the time and pass on. Wait, what the? All the time and pass it on, making the world better. It's just one long ass running sentence with horrible punctuation. My grandparents came across Ellis Island. Oh, wow. My grandparents came across Ellis Island with just a shirt on their back, penniless, and escaping Jewish concentration camps. I grew up in a horrible home where both my brother and sister died in a car crash in 1971. I worked for my living, bought 30% of the Colts Bank. I worked for my living / bought 30% of the Colts bank loan. If you see the tweet, I don't know how the fuck I'm reading this. I'm having an aneurysm damn near. And then he said, after that, and on first take, the woman that preceded Stephen A., how dare you pretend to know me? I don't know your name and I don't care to. If my black mother, Dorothy, was still alive, you'd be in some big hot water. You are mean and ugly. You're a nothing burger. Dorothy Bloodsaw was my black mom. ... She carried me in the house in Lincolnwood, Illinois on 1959 June and raised me in the light of Christ. Prayer emoji. I would be dead if not for her unconditional love. She showed me that Jesus was my savior. I owe everything to her. Dorothy, known as Doss, passed in 2002 after raising her grandchildren, Carly, Casey, and her beloved buddy Kaylin. She altered Ursay history. She was the strongest woman I've ever known, and my children will testify that altered our family's history forever. Yeah, I don't know how someone's spelling can be that bad.
We somehow still have 20 picks, but yeah. So I think basically he caught a suspension for that.
Did he just get suspended for it?
I think so, yeah.
To say, bro, that shit, man. I gotta go read.
No, it wasn't. No,
it just happened 4 hours ago.
Yeah, no. Sorry. I guess that's what it was talking about initially. Was his suspension back in 2014? I don't know what they said on first take.
This whole Twitter rant was triggered by his arrest back then. Yes,
and where he said it was because of prejudice against white billionaires.
He said I was being prejudiced against because I'm a rich white man billionaire.
Yeah, man. Well, this really isn't a pro billionaire podcast, so I don't really have much positive to say about billionaires. But I will say, Ursay's got to be careful because, yeah, he does have priors, and also we've now seen the NFL push 2 owners out for off the field adjacent shit. So if I were him, I'd be careful, especially because not only would they love to get that out of football, but they can get more money by getting a bigger billionaire to buy into the league. And, oh, yeah, I'm sure the NFL is trying to move out of Indy anyways to a much bigger market because that's just kind of what they're in the business of doing now. But, yeah, Kenny can't really speak to that, so let's move on. All right. Your guy, Danielle Hunter, is expected to get interest from the Jaguars and Broncos in free agency this year, in addition to the Minnesota Vikings. Take or tangent, Kenny.
Wait, say that last part louder one more time.
Which part did you not hear?
The last part of your question.
You didn't hear any of it. Just say you didn't hear any of it. Just say, repeat the question again. Don't gaslight me into saying the question again.
I'm making you question what part I didn't say?
Yeah, because I knew you didn't hear any of it. Danielle Hunter, Minnesota Vikings edge, is expected to get interest from the Jaguars and the Broncos in addition to the Vikings. Do you have a take or a tangent on that?
He's going to get attention from everywhere that can pay him, which is just a smart thing to do.
But do you feel like he should stay in Minnesota, or do you feel like either of those teams are a better fit?
Are they going to pay him? Because they're not going to pay him. I don't see why you would stay.
I agree.
At this point, you go where they're going to pay you, dude, because he's done enough to prove he is who he says he is.
I feel like I'm not going to Denver unless they're going to give me something else. Unless they're going to put something around me.
It's like, do you want to win?
Yeah, exactly. What's the point of
Because
going
if you
there?
don't want to win, then like
Go to Denver.
nah. The Jaguars pay out. The Jaguars be paying.
No, yeah,
out
the
bags.
Jaguars will be give out bags, and you can still be competitive there. And there's
And they
more
have Josh
talent.
Allen on the other side.
Exactly. So
So
why go to Denver?
I mean, Sean Payton ain't enough. Sorry.
Yep.
That's how I would look at it as. I'm like, nah, I need more, bro. I need more, bro.
All right. Last one. The Buffalo Bills are 6-5, and now it's reported that Sean McDermott is on the hot seat, which I believe he just signed an extension like 1 or 2 years ago. So take your tangent, Kenny. Getting Sean McDermott out of Buffalo.
Yeah, Josh Allen could be getting his coach fired.
And his number one receiver traded.
Let's just keep it a band. It's looking that route.
Shoot, he might even get traded. Honestly, if I were them, I'd probably trade him. Try to get a first, second. Because you still got enough talent throughout that roster to where if you can hit on a rookie quarterback in the middle of the first or hit on one of these reclamation projects that are going to be out there this offseason, you can easily do something. Like if you can hit on a Justin Fields or a Zach Wilson, someone like that, and you add another 2 first-round picks to your offense or defense, that's how you kind of keep the program moving in the right direction. Because, at least from what we can tell, seems like this team has not only hit their ceiling, but has kind of plateaued and maybe even on the downside. And they don't exactly have the cap flexibility to add someone else in addition to Diggs. And I mean, I feel like even Cook, you can't blame him because he's been playing pretty well the past couple games. Offensive line's been hot and cold, but I don't think it's terrible. And the defense is still solid despite all the injuries throughout the whole year. So I don't know, if I were them, I would be looking at the quarterback instead of the head coach. All right, Kenny.
It's fair. That's definitely fair.
Fair or fade? Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday night. It was a rainy game, kind of somewhat low scoring. The Eagles were down most of the game, but they came back. It was Jason Kelsey's first time beating Travis Kelce. But overall, on the walkout, the Eagles head coach basically did a little celebration and was like, "Shut the fuck up, Eagle fans." Wait, I forgot exactly
Chiefs
what he
fans?
said. Yeah, Chiefs fans.
Because it's funny because he did that in the tunnel, but it's like, bro, they won the Super Bowl. Like, this doesn't make up for the loss.
So, fair or fade, Kenny?
It's a fade. You ain't got to finish reading it. It's just a fade from Chiefs fans. It's like, if we had Julio Jones, he would have caught that pass. Like, Chiefs just don't have receivers right now. And DeAndre Hopkins tweeting out what he tweeted out, he said, man, that drop going to hurt him. I'm just saying, if the Chiefs hadn't lowballed DeAndre Hopkins, because they clearly did, he's on the Chiefs, and we're not talking about this. But, I mean, this might just be a down year for them. All the receivers they took, it turns out, is not working out. So,
all those damn drops, killing them.
Especially from Montez Scantling, like he's known since he came into the league for not catching passes properly. Hell, he pissed off Aaron Rodgers a couple times because he was dropping stuff. So he only hurt himself in this regard.
They really thought he was gonna have a Juju year.
They thought he was him. They thought he was gonna have a Sammy Watkins year. Sammy Watkins ain't even Sammy Watkins no more.
All right. Yeah, I'm just going to say, I mean, I'm glad they won, but it was definitely not a pretty win. Like, it's definitely nothing to celebrate or get excited about, especially when they got 4 more days to turn it around. So, we'll see. Plus, Taylor Swift wasn't even there, so.
Bro, I don't even care. Why are we talking about that? Why did you even?
That's
bring
Travis
that up?
Kelce's secret weapon, man.
Why did you even bring that up? My guy?
He didn't get no cut either the night before.
We don't. We can't confirm or deny that. We don't speak in these tones. We don't want the Swifties after us. That's a different level of charges and pain or whatever. I'm good.
All right. I had one more that I was going to say. Oh, this was somehow news, but the New York Jets held a players-only meeting. We hear about these things on and off. Heard about it earlier in the season with the Raiders, and then the head coach was fired. Jets, again, play on Friday, short week. So, Kenny, are players-only meetings fair or fade? If you're a head coach and you find out your players are having a players-only meeting, is that fair or is it fade?
It's a fade because that means something that you overlooked in the preseason or whatever. Now it's becoming a serious problem, and smoke is granted now. So, pretty much.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You're telling me you didn't save it? Are you telling me you started this over for no reason? Is that what you're telling me?
We just wasted 2 hours of our lives.
It's not even saved?
No, fuck no, it's not saved.
You can't even save it right now? What do you mean? Why can't you save it? Can't you go back and save it?
No, it's not saved, bro. It's done. We lost everything.
The entire draft?
Yeah, we lost everything. Lost everything, bro.
I need closure, bro.
We literally lost everything.
You're telling me you have a fucking...
It doesn't save until you finish the draft.
Well, we didn't finish the draft.
Oh, no, we're good.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't finish the draft, so...
We're good. I already know it's saved after every pick. That's cool.
What the fuck? Bro, I almost punched you.
That wasn't be my fault.
It wouldn't be your fault. You're giving me anxiety for no reason.
The controller died.
I had a championship roster.
That's what you said last year.
Wait, what the fuck? What do you mean started over? Look at that. It looks like we're starting over.
No.
Wait, that's my roster then. That means it's my pick.
No.
That's my roster. I made that pick.
It says on the clock, Chargers.
Okay, then. So how did you just go
Chargers.
look? How did you just go look at my roster?
Because I told you it signed me out and it signed into your profile. So now we're on your profile.
So it's saved on my profile.
I guess. I don't know. Saved on someone's profile.
This is a fade in itself right here.
What, that now you can see your roster and I can't?
You know what? Fuck it.
Sure you don't want to carve out a little letter?
I definitely don't want to start over. If we finish it and it doesn't save, then yeah, we got to start over. That's crazy though. That's crazy. We're just passing on all these NFL players. Almost feel bad. Almost. It's weird they don't show defensive tackles speed ratings. I just find that very weird.
Because none of them are fast.
No, a lot of them are fast. Ndamukong could chase you down right now.
Definitely. That's not saying a lot, though. I'm slow as fuck.
In his prime, he ran like a 4.8, damn near 4.7. Like, he's what, 13 years in? But he can scoot. I got one, though.
Go for it.
Steelers fired offensive coordinator Matt Canada after 3 years of ineptitude and just terribleness.
That didn't already happen?
I broke the news.
I thought that already happened like weeks ago.
No, it happened like 2 days ago.
Oh.
Happened on Monday morning when I fucking wrote
Tells
the
you
headline.
how much I care.
Wrote the headline for it. But like, what's his name was
How is that fair or fade?
It's a fade because like there's video.
Then why are you asking the question?
There's a fade because
got the answer.
Because I mean the kicker. There's a video of the Steelers kicker coming out saying we didn't win because of you. That's for sure. He said it out loud with like he put his name on it. Like there's video right there. I was like, yo, that man put truth to power. I couldn't believe it. But I mean, I don't I don't think Mike Tomlin's on the hot seat at all. I think this is telling that he fired him after 3 years mid-season. Kenny Pickett was suffering, and it's probably what you just needed to do. Ensure your season doesn't become a total abject failure. So there you go.
All right. Well, do you want to rant?
Yeah. I want to talk about how. Oh man, it's been a hell of a week. My mom came back in town. We kicked it, talked. Holidays are rough, man. But like they're rough for a different reason. Like in the past, I would always get a day off. Like this week, I just emotionally it was draining for me. I just want to say, Andre 3000's album was fantastic.
Z's.
It was great from the standpoint of it's not a hip hop album, bro. Like it's a hip hop artist who made an album playing a flute. Like he used to come to my old job and play it. Like people got to stop expecting. People got to stop expecting the content you want from a person who's going through a journey. Like you don't get to dictate what they pick up on their journey, bro. Like you need to really kind of cool out. People really need to cool out on that. I wish they would stop. Just be thankful you're getting what you're getting. That this person and the journey that they're on feels comfortable enough to even put out some content and they want to share it with the world. Like people gotta really let go of that and kind of stop being weird about it. I appreciate the fact that he even wanted to put work out again. Like that's just straight up. I thank Andre 3 Stacks for it. It's appreciated. I appreciate that album. 432 hertz is like what you listen to kind of clutter your body, and sounds and vibrations and all that stuff. Like it does actually calm you down. So, sometimes people just gotta do what's best for them, and you should appreciate that when they want to share their journey with you. Because he said it like this is a brand new instrument to me. Like, and I was never classically trained like that. Outcast popped off before I was supposed to go to school, study. So in his case, salute John J 3 Stacks. And hopefully everybody has a happy Thanksgiving and a safe week. Lost my ID, went to the DMV, got it handled in like 20 minutes. The DMV really needs to start printing out some kind of form of fucking temporary ID, because people, when you need it, they look at you like, okay, you have a receipt saying you paid for an ID, but you still don't have your ID, so I can't let you in. But I have a picture of my ID. Yeah, but it physically needs to be in my hand. Fuck you then. I'm excited about Pac-12, the Pac-12 title game. It's going to be great. The last one ever. Technically not the last one ever because the Pac-2 is still a thing, and they came to an agreement with the Mountain West, which is what I've been saying for like the past 4 or 5 years now. So somebody could have cut me a check. But
you literally haven't been saying.
I've been saying it for
you haven't been saying that at all.
The Mountain
bro.
West and the Pac-12 should have been a super conference. Yes.
You've been saying that, but they're not a super conference. I said it before COVID.
They're
not a super conference. They took on 2 teams, and 2 teams
no,
kept their branding.
But when they were a super conference before,
this is like the independents playing the ACC, bro. This is not a win. This is not
Pac-12.
This is not validating what you've been saying, bro. You got to stop that, bro. This is totally different setup. If anything, you would have cut these 2 teams out of your super conference.
No, I wouldn't have. I would have kept them.
Chill,
what
bro.
are you talking about? I would have kept them.
No,
Oregon State is very good.
You would have kicked. You would have kicked.
No, I
them
wouldn't
out.
have. No, I wouldn't have.
Dog. You've steamrolled the fuck out of Oregon State many times.
When they were
several times.
When they were bad.
Like 2 years ago.
Last year.
Yeah. Like
they were horrible 2 years ago.
Exactly, bro. You like have a revisionist history, my guy.
Nah, you tripping.
You do.
I mean, Washington State's not that good, but
go ahead. Continue getting flowers at Unsures. Go ahead. If that's really what you're fishing for, fish for it. Fish for your validation, King. Fish for your validation.
My validation exists because I exist. So,
oh my God! If you don't get your
go fuck yourself,
toxic positivity ass out of here.
Says the one interrupting me. Says the one talking about mental health taking personal days. Relax.
I didn't take any personal days.
I was joking with you. It was a joke. You just like that culture, though. You
Okay.
like personal day culture.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, shout out to everybody. Hope you have a happy weekend and all that good stuff. Stay safe out there. Protect each other. And stop doing weird shit on the internet.
Yeah, so for me, shit. Excited this weekend. Gonna go see Lamar live against the Chargers. Hopefully me not watching will make the Raiders not get clapped by the Chiefs, but unlikely. Shoot. It's been a busy week, even though it was only 2 days. Nowadays, short weeks just mean longer days. Excited, though, to have these couple days off, catch up on my cleaning, catch up on some of my other activities, go to the game, watch some of the Clipper game, fuck the in-season tournament. I'm over it. I know some people are like, oh, they're playing hard for the cash, and that's cool, but it's like, bro, this shit really doesn't matter. And Lakers fans were talking shit about, no, it's going to be the Clippers Invitational, and they're the ones leading the tournament, so it's like, chill. Outside of that, man, I'm excited to eat some good food tomorrow. Go visit my family up the hill, which should be cool. And yeah, just looking forward to taking a little R&R. Holidays are always weird for me. They're especially a little bit more weird this year, being single for the first time in a while. So, but it's an interesting journey. And not to rail on Kenny's earlier take, but it's like, I get the whole respect the artist and the artistry propaganda, but also like, bro, just because Tesla makes a phone charger doesn't mean you have to buy it. Like, just because Balenciaga makes a fucking towel rack doesn't mean you need to buy it, bro. Like, yeah, you should be creative and you should be able to push boundaries and do whatever you want to do. But also, when things like that are created, supported, distributed, that takes away from people who are actually trying to grind and try to provide for themselves. It's like, yeah, it's cool. You want to make this experimental project and, you know, get back into music and try something new. But also, like, what privilege do you have to do that? Because I guarantee you there's some flute players out there that are fucking pissed, bro, that have been grinding on the flute for literally decades trying to get a record deal, that they literally would sign their lives away to a 360 deal if they could, and they can't. And this motherfucker Andre 3000 comes out with 7 songs that has more streams than they've ever even thought about getting. So, I mean, I see both sides of it. I see why, like, yeah, it's great to see the creators you love and support create. But also, dog, like, you old. Like, not everyone needs to just keep creating just to create. Like, create because you have a purpose, a passion to it. Like, don't just do it just because you can.
Flute was his passion.
Yeah, bro, I guess.
But I mean, that's why he doesn't want to rap anymore. So it's like if he moves on to something else, you give him shit because he moved on to something else.
Do the thing that you're great at. Don't do the thing that you can.
Oh, you don't do everything you're great at.
Well, that's why I'm depressed and anxious.
So like,
I got issues.
You can't tell everybody to do everything. He's 48.
That's not a good excuse.
And he's 48 though.
Exactly. So it's like, bro, if you have a midlife crisis and you stop doing whatever the fuck you do, you have to start over. Like, you can't just go from being an accountant to doing ITT Tech mechanic work. Like, you got to go to ITT Tech to get your fucking certificate and stuff. Like, there's a whole thorough ass process. You can't just be a Michelin star chef because you used to be a rapper. Like, there's a whole process.
I mean, some people go through that though.
So it's like, for him, it's like
he met people in New York.
He started at the 100-yard line and is like, here you go.
But
you
he
guys wanted
started.
something with my name on it.
But he
Well,
started
this
at
is
the
it.
he started at the ground floor of his experience, and he knew like
Yeah, I don't know,
people. He knew
bro.
a flute player.
I don't know, bro.
Like, go watch his interview. He
Yeah,
talked about
I
how he
don't
just
know,
met
bro.
people. Like,
You know how you tell me how I be dick eating, bro? This is what it sounds like.
I'm not dick eating. No.
It sounds like you're dick eating.
I'm saying
bro. You're literally.
he's
dick
rich
eating.
and famous, dude. So he hooked up with his rich and famous friends and made a fucking album. That's what happened. Like, and now other people are co-signing the album.
Yeah.
Like Tyler, the creator, and a bunch of other creatives that look up to him. So it's what it is sometimes.
But that's what I'm saying is, are they doing it because they look up to him or because they actually like the music? I think it's more of like they are doing it because it's him. And that's taking promotion, support, distribution out of people who have been doing this probably when he was in Outcast. Like, so I don't know. I see both sides of it, but yeah. All right, well, this is Touchdowns and Tangents. Shout out to your favorite podcast app where you can find this. Also on touchdownsandtangents.com. Kept it short and sweet this week. Shout out to Nikki in Texas. Shout out to all you listeners. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Grateful for each and every one of you. And yeah, stay safe. Peace.
Love you. Peace.